people and encouraging other women. And I just felt that it was a divine appointment, and it's God's journey for my life. And so I accepted the role and the responsibility. And to answer your question, the responsibility of it is to do just that. Coach and guide and direct and be available and emails, text messages, phone calls. And you know, a lot of the conversations that are made, Teresa, you just really encourage these women to love themselves, love their bodies, love their journey, and encourage them to see the power in their message.
Yes. Where can you find the ladies? Because in terms of, you found these two here, and that was, actually that's what really stands out to me, is the fact that these two women just recently got involved in pageantry, and they're back here with national titles, all three of you. Mm-hmm. And so, and then you just recently yourself, just only a couple of years ago, got into pageantry.
Right.
And so you must have been poured into a lot in terms of, or just being able to capture that information, to be able to pour back into these two individuals, because it's really up to them at the end of the day if they want to take what you have to say.
Absolutely.
So was that challenging to work with two individuals and to really be able to share your experience and then give back to them, and then to have them follow that information, that knowledge, that expertise from you?
Well, with these two ladies, you know, the sharing my journey and my experience with them, that's my testimony, and that's real. They can relate to that. They're not looking at it on TV or watching it on the internet or reading it in a book. Yes. It's my personal testimony, and so it resonated with them. And as you said, at the end of the day, you know, I could talk to them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but what they choose to do with that and how they choose to implement that into their life and in their pageant journey is up to them. I can coach them, I can mentor them, I can share my personal experience with them, but I can't go to nationals, and I can't walk into that interview room for them. I cannot get on stage and model for them. I cannot answer their on-stage question for them. You know, I can't show up for them. I can be there and I can support them and encourage them. But these two women were committed. You know, they made the decision, they made the commitment to themselves that this is the example that they wanted to be and the message that they wanted to send to the world. And they, I mean, obviously they were successful at it because they both brought home national queen titles. Yeah. There are other, you know, delegates who, you know, they want your feedback and they want your support, but they choose to go a different direction. And, you know, sometimes that's just how the ball rolls.
So being a lifetime queen, are you out there looking for more ladies to get into pageantry?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. I see some ladies here today.
I was going to say, so tell us what you're looking for. Tell us what you look for when you're out there scouting.
You know, to be honest with you, I look for women who have an amazing story, an amazing testimony, regardless of the details of it. But I look for women who have their own testimony and who are maybe shameful or maybe embarrassed, you know, don't have that confidence to really share their story, because there's power in that. And I have touched women's lives when I've seen that opportunity, because that's exactly what I share with them. I'm a title holder in plus size pageantry, and this is my platform and this is my journey. And this is an amazing testimony. You need to advertise that. You know, there are women in the world that are struggling and are challenged with the same circumstances that you're facing. And when you stand up on a platform and share that message, people will listen to you. And it's going to encourage other women, and it's going to change their lives. So that's really honestly what I look for. And those tend to be the most powerful examples.
So I'm going to ask this question as it relates to behind the scenes in pageantry, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Can you share some of the good, the bad, and the ugly that we don't get to see that goes on behind closed doors in pageantry with the other women in competition?
Absolutely. It's competitive. So it's definitely, you have to have your game face on. You have to show up. You have to be presentable. You have deadlines, and the time changes so rapidly that you have to physically have all your garment bags lined up. What am I going to put on for the next event? And then you have, of course it's girls, so we have like the eye rolling, the, the backbiting, the bickering. But at the end of the day, it's a sisterhood. And with any sisters, we're gonna fight, but we're gonna also, get back together and be like, we're gonna rock this together.
For me, for my division, in the women's division, we didn't have the bickering and the backbiting. We were so connected to each other. We gelled right away. We did things together. I mean, we were in the back and we were getting ready to go on stage and somebody had a Charlie horse. I'm holding her foot up. Somebody else is massaging it because we don't want her to be out. Yes, we're about pageantry. Yes, we're about winning. But for us in our division, it was about that sisterhood and that connection. And we're Facebook friends and we miss each other. There were 6 of us in my division and we miss each other a lot. So it was really nice to see that behind the stage.
Yes, it's very good.
For me, I'm in a different position than Denise and Fralisa, and so I tend to see a lot of the backstage events, I will call them, and I encourage women to stay focused on themselves, stay focused on their platform, remind themselves why they're there, and we all have to be gracious with each other. We have to be forgiving. We have to understand that we all have challenges and we all have issues that we struggle with. And to be that example of love and grace and compassion. And, at the end of the day, you might not like me, I might not like you, but you're an example, I'm an example, and that's really the message that we need to promote. At the end of the day, we need to put, all of our differences aside, and especially as women. I think traditionally, I'm not that, I'm so old, but I've seen, in my lifetime, I've seen so many women, dislike each other and battle against each other and, fight over men with each other. And we just don't need to do that. We need to love each other and encourage each other and lift each other up and again, and encourage each other to be an example of our journey and our story. So.
Awesome. So as we wrap up, where can we find out more about each one of you ladies?
Definitely on Facebook, Twitter, Miss American Beauties Plus, Pageant.com online.
Same thing.
We are all highlighted, as Denise said, on the Miss American Beauties Plus Pageant website, MissAmericanBeautiesPlus.Pageant.com. We all have queen pages. You can find us, search for our titles, and our queen pages will come up. All of our events and things that we're involved in, organizations that we support will be on our queen pages. Twitter accounts as well. I'm not sure if you have a Twitter yet. Do you have a Twitter yet?
My Natural Essence does have a Twitter,
yes,
but not for my queen. I will be developing that though.
Yes. So just search for us. Google us. You'll find us.
Yeah. Awesome. So go ahead.
I do just want to touch on one topic, just because we are wrapping up, Teresa.
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine.
Last night, Denise and I attended an event here locally. We attended the True Font Family fundraising gala event. And we walked into the event. We were one of the first guests that arrived, ran into the restroom, and as we were walking out of the restroom, there was a gentleman that was actually waiting for us, waiting to talk to us when we came out of the restroom. And he said, weren't you ladies just in Atlanta, Georgia? And so, of course, to our surprise, we're thinking, oh my gosh, we're here in Renton, Washington, and this gentleman somehow knows that we were in Atlanta. And Denise said, yes, actually we were. And he said, I was there. I was there that weekend. I saw you guys running around in the lobby and with all your crowns on and all the sparkle. And he said he was there on business and actually remembered us. And it just goes to show you, being title holders, national title holders in plus size pageantry, the example that you are, the vision that you have, and how people remember you and how powerful that is. That gentleman remembered us 4 weeks ago, and here at this event across the United States, we were in this, in his presence in the same room with him again. And what he saw resonated with him. Yes. And it touched his life in some capacity. We didn't have an opportunity to discuss it with him, but it touched his life in some capacity, and it meant enough to him to speak on it and acknowledge our presence. That's what pageantry is about. Yes. That's what it's about, right there.
I was asking the ladies, which I think is very important, is sometimes we look on the external and we see the crowns, we see the sashes, and we hear the titles. But I really wanted you to take an opportunity to tell those that are here and in our audience that will be watching this at a later time is, what do you ladies do when the crown is off? Do you have a job? Do you have a business? What do you do? Tell us about you.
I work full-time for Port Jobs. I'm a program assistant. I recruit low-income airport workers to go back to college. We are a division of the Port of Seattle, and we partner with Highline Community College and South Seattle Community College. And the instructors actually come to the airport, and we have a classroom there. And we help a lot of times. We have people who are refugees and immigrants who come in, never going to college, never going to high school here in the United States. And we actually take them through the Business Information of Technology program, and so they get a 15-credit certificate from Highline Community College. Last year we had 5 students graduate with that certificate. This year we'll have 12 walking in commencement June 12th at Highline Community College.
Fralisa, thank you. I am a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm an aunt, and I'm a godmother. And I'm also the founder and owner of a private school called Imagination School, where we educate students K through 6th grade this year to be better in, I call it the future generation of America because it looks bleak. So my job is to make sure that they're well prepared to be in our future. Camay.
I am a paralegal at Allstate Staff Counsel Office. We're an insurance defense firm. We support and defend Allstate insured in litigation that they're involved in. I support lead counsel at that office and 2 other attorneys. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have anything that they'd like to ask any one of us at this time? Yes, Mr. Threat Brown.
I'm just interested, what are y'all future plans with the pageant? Are y'all still competing for next year, 2014, for the most part?
Well, right now Denise and Fralisa are in their year reign. They are committed contractually to represent their pageant system for a year. They will continue their journey, I'm sure. They can probably speak for themselves, what they will do once their reign is over. But they both actually will be considered for a lifetime title when they return to nationals next year. Again, it will be based on their year of service and how they represented themselves, their platform, and the pageant system. Speaking for myself, my vision is to be an example in Washington State. The 3 of us will continue to partner together. We will continue to support each other in our platforms. We will continue to represent our pageant system, and we are committed to the full-figured women of the world.
Jazz?
I was just going to ask that, do you ladies plan on doing more events now that you are Trilogy? Because I think that it's so phenomenal and so huge that there's 3 ladies from Washington State that actually managed to go down and sweep Atlanta. Right? So for you ladies to come back and just take it over, do you have plans to do more events and so forth so that we can support you all?
Yeah, we definitely do. We definitely do. Things have happened extremely fast for all of us. As a lifetime queen, that is one of my responsibilities. Is representing the national title holders, and obviously being here in Washington State, I do have a heart for these 2 women as well. But we want to again, be an example to women across the country, and we want to encourage other women across the country to take state titles and represent their state at nationals and go and compete and bring home 3, 4, 5 national titles and really be the example and show other women how powerful that is. So a calendar of events, not quite yet, but yes, we are working on it, absolutely. Yes, D.
So with there being so many plus-size pageant systems out there and so many avenues you guys could have taken, what made you choose American Beauties Plus?
For me, I can speak on that. American Beauties Plus, I went to a lot of pageants and actually sat in the audience and researched. American Beauties Plus pageant system, you feel the love. And I feel attitude reflects leadership, and we have an amazing director, and she really sends that love to all of us. And we are a sisterhood at American Beauties Plus pageant system, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Mine's so totally different. I checked into other pageant systems, and they had so many things that you had to do in order to get to a place. Financially, this worked for me.
For me, as I shared with you all, I competed in a different pageant system initially in my pageant journey. And after I walked that journey and competed in that pageant system, I realized that it was not in alignment with my beliefs. It was not in alignment with the message and the example that I wanted to be in the world. And I made a decision at that time, once that state competition was over, I made a decision to rescind my title as Ms. Everett and took an honorary state title with American Beauties Plus and competed in that pageant system. And now that I've gone through that and that's part of my journey, the pageant system is in alignment with my belief system. It's in alignment with my being passionate about my platform. You know, it's easy. I always say this. It's easy to go and get on stage and compete. That's the easy part, believe it or not. What's hard is what you do with it. What's hard is the work that you do and the time that you commit and the organizations and the people that you support with that title. And American Beauties Plus definitely focuses on that. Yes, sir.
You guys describe any funny moments that happen, like behind stage, any random things like that, or on the stage, any funny moments from the event?
Any falling down, tripping over, anything? No.
Well, when you're perfect.
Yeah. Flawless and all. I definitely can say we had an amazing talent show the Friday night of the pageant, and I felt like I was on Broadway. Like in the audience, I didn't perform. You guys never want to hear me sing in public, but there was young ladies that were in our pageant system who tore down the house. And one lady in particular, she did a scene with a baby and a play, and it was amazing. And then there was another lady who sang to her husband, and she had us all in tears. Like, I think that was the most funniest part of the pageant for me, is like all these beautiful beauty queens, mascara running, eyelashes falling off, because she touched our hearts. And so to me, that was a funny moment. Hopefully they didn't get it on camera, but if they do, you'll see it soon.
The funniest thing for me was, besides, helping the lady with the Charlie horse, was watching these women run back and forth, changing their clothes. Because I've done stage work, I've done dance in high school and college, and so I know what it's like being backstage and changing clothes, but I looked at them and they were going crazy sometimes. Where's this? Where's that? So I found that to be very interesting.
For me, again, being in a different position, I was an outgoing queen this last year, and I saw so many women